As most of you, I've been very critical of Valve in regards to TF2 in the past. Ever since 2017, this game, which is still very much alive and profitable, has been mostly neglected and left to decay in a deplorable state by a company with all the necessary resources to do better than this. However, after reviewing what happened to this game in both 2021 and 2020, I find it hard to say we got no meaningful action from Valve. Things could be better, sure, but it is clear that the few people at Valve HQ who are still dedicating time to work on TF2 have delivered a lot in the last 2 years. It's been a bumpy ride with ups and downs, yeah, completely. But the overall result is a net positive, and that's what I want to share with you in this video. I would go as far as say that 2021 was the year of home improvement for TF2. Let's take a look at the data. First, a summary of my methodology. I checked the TF2 website and read the official patch notes for 2020 and 2021. Then, I counted only Valve-specific significant game patches. That means I excluded any patch that was most probably submitted by community contributors, for instance community map fixes or general community proposed fixes, or that had no meaningful impact on gameplay in general, such as cosmetic-related patches or things like tournament medals and localization files. If you are curious about the select dataset, I'll leave a link to it in the video description. But in short, I excluded from my corpus anything that clearly wasn't done by Valve or that had no meaningful impact on the game's playability. Here's what I found. In 2020, TF2 got 14 Valve-specific significant game patches. The longest time we had without such patches was 81 days. The average time between such patches was 26 days. The changes I found most relevant were the tribute in honor of Rick May, the voice actor who dubbed Soldier, measures against chat spam, support for Steam text filtering to filter out slurs on chat, improvements to the mute player's dialogue, improvements to the vote kick system and dialogues, some server and client crashes got fixed, some gameplay exploits got fixed. In total, 7 generally significant actions taken by Valve in regards to TF2 in 2020. Now let's compare that to 2021. We got 15 Valve-specific significant game patches. The longest time we had without such patches was 113 days, a lot more than in 2020. That's because in the first months of the year we hardly got anything from Valve done in TF2, but that changed in the second half of the year, which reflects in the average time between these significant patches, 25 days, 1 day less than in 2020. That alone I find very encouraging because it shows someone at Valve has had a growing recent interest about working on TF2's issues. You can really see that on the summary of changes I found most significant. Payload Peer got added to the persistent casual matchmaking map pool. On one of the patch notes, Valve claims numerous security and stability improvements were committed into the game, probably related to the Steam Datagram Relay, a more modern and robust networking system that was added to TF2 in 2021. If you don't know what that is, check out this video I made about it. Further improvements to the vote kick system and dialogues. Further measures against chat spam. A serious exploit that allowed for Steam account impersonation, Steam ID spoofing specifically, got fixed. Measures were taken to limit the reach of custom player sprays and custom content in general, because those custom files were being used to spread illegal or disturbing images around on servers. Also, there was the possibility they could be used to spread malware. The following weapons had buggy projectile code which finally got fixed: the Dragon's Fury, the Rap Assassin, the Short Circuit, the Ponson, and the Righteous Bison. General networking improvements and fixes were made. Some server and client crashes were fixed. Some gameplay exploits were fixed. Some general improvements were made to the community market. In total, 11 generally significant actions taken by Valve in 2021. And that's just a summary, really. That increase from 7 to 11 might not seem much for you, but checking each patch note from both years, you can really see that a lot more was done for this game in 2021. Also, it is worth pointing out that the challenges this game faced in 2021 were a lot higher in stake than in 2020 because of the further escalation of malicious activity in the game. In response to that, we got a lot more security and networking changes, fixes, and improvements, which shows that someone at Valve is concerned about keeping TF2 in a playable and relatively secure state. The Steam Datagram Relay, in particular, is a huge step forward for TF2, and I imagine it is what kept the official Valve servers up and running during Screen Fortress, despite all the connection instability some regions of the world faced during some weeks in October. Had SDR not been implemented before the Halloween event, we probably would have seen a blackout in casual servers, so that was surely a huge win for the community and for Valve. Finally, I'm extremely glad the Dragon's Fury and the Rep Assassin got some attention from Valve. There probably still exist some lingering issues with those weapons, but I'm happy someone took their time to fix some of the bugs those two weapons and other projectile-based weapons had for so many years now. So that's why I feel confident saying that 2021 was a home improvement year for TF2. We saw Valve directly address some of the game's lingering issues and try to actively fix or at least mitigate them in some manner. My guess is that some Valve employee's child started playing TF2 and brought the game's problems to their parents. But regardless of the reason for this renewed interest in fixing TF2, does that redeem Valve's past negligence? I wouldn't say so, but it is a start for sure, and I hope to see this home improvement trend continuing into 2022. After all, fixing a ruined house and tidying up everything is necessary before inviting everyone to a huge party. That's what I'm wishing for TF2 this next year. And what do you think? Were you aware of this trend in TF2? Are you hopeful for the game's future, or are you skeptical that anything is coming for this legacy game? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Bye.